Okay, so this one is going to be the history of ancient Ireland, and it's by Jacob Dodson, filmed at the Cave of Morrigan. So the Morrigan. So we're going to jump into that. To Jacob Dodson.
From fields to sheep to mountains and waterfalls, we will wind our way along the narrow country roads of the Emerald Isle, all with the final goal to attend one of the largest fire festivals in all of Ireland at the Hill of Ishnach. We will also be joined by several guests who lend their voices to telling the story of Ireland in the past and where it's heading towards in the future. So buckle up, pour yourself a pint of Guinness, and join us in this mad dash across Ireland, and be sure to subscribe for all upcoming adventures. Today, in episode 1, we're talking about the history of Ireland. Hello and welcome to the first adventure here in the van. So I have Kevin. Kevin has been on a few episodes. The guy was so happy to see you. Well, yeah. So we're in Ireland, everyone, and we're on our way to a really special place today. But before then, Kevin, who are you?
I'm Kevin. I'm a pagan, mostly Norse and Gaelic, and lived in Scotland for a couple of years. Yeah, that's about it.
What makes you think you're qualified to be on this show? Besides you're good for a laugh.
I like to think, and hopefully I can have some good, unique perspective. Maybe, hopefully, get people to think about things in a different way that they might not have thought of before. New green, bigger. Yeah,
Blarney Stone.
Yeah, Blarney Stone.
So just for the audience, like the main idea behind each of these videos. So essentially every day we're recording, we're sharing with you what we're doing. We have a pretty strict itinerary. But today's theme is actually Irish history. Specifically ancient Ireland. As you've probably been introduced, there's a voiceover version of me that's giving you much more specific details. What we're doing here in the van on location is we're taking you somewhere really interesting. And this was recommended to me by Kiva, is this cave supposedly is an interesting legend, a myth behind it. And that's kind of a lot of Ireland, is a lot of these places have a mythological tale that goes along with it.
Yeah, I think this cave, I had never heard of the cave until you mentioned it yesterday. It ticks all the boxes. So throughout Ireland, the fairy trees and the hill forts and cave has a cave on a hill underneath a hawthorn tree that is all the things you're looking for. This has them in spades. I think that just so much of the landscape of Ireland is tied to the old stories that you can see it written on the landscape.
The ice began to melt from the last ice age, allowing the first human settlers to begin to hunt and gather in what is now known as Ireland. And around 4000 BC, the first signs of agriculture began to appear. And it's around this time that people began to leave a more permanent mark on the land, building earthen structures to house their dead. And this very quickly escalated them building one of the most impressive stone structures, which is older than the pyramids of Giza, and that is New Grange. Stone monuments can be found all across Ireland, and many of them date from the Neolithic period. In fact, there are over 1,000 known tombs and 300 plus stone circles still standing in Ireland today. The story of Ireland is a story of migrations and invasions. The story is sometimes debated and is often for the pronunciation of these names, but I'm trying. The Brittany, the Belgae, the Lachin, and finally the Milesians. Mythologically, it is said that the Milesians came in contact with the original Irish gods, the Tuatha, and they struck a deal with them that the Milesian would be in around the 4th and the 5th century, much of this recorded in the stories of St. Patrick.
Patrick wasn't even Irish. Do you believe that? But it's actually true, he wasn't. He was Welsh.
Divided into 5 kingdoms that would play a major role in the history of Ireland going forward. And those kingdoms were Ulster, Meath, Leinster, Munster, and Connacht. There's also a surprisingly deep history of Irish laws contained within the Brehon laws. And one of the things that happened during this time is that occasionally a high king of Ireland would be elected. One of the first times this was actually done is when the Vikings invaded, because all the kingdoms of Ireland had to come together to face this new enemy. The Druids also played a surprisingly interesting impact in Irish history. Many of these Druids converted into Christianity and became monks, which added a very interesting and unique touch to the church that was established here in Ireland that was often in conflict with the Roman Catholic Church. The invading Vikings would last until around the 11th century when the Irish would finally repel them out. And it was only a very short rest period before Ireland was once again invaded by one of the descendants of the Vikings when it came to the Norman invasion of 1169 by Richard de Clare Strongbow, changing Ireland once again forever. The Normans would eventually occupy and control Ireland for a very long time until England took official control in 1541. Ireland would remain under the control of England until 1921, when part of Ireland would become the Republic of Ireland.
That's when everyone started, like, that's how a lot of Irish ended up in America and that, because of the potato famine. And a lot of them were taken as slaves as well during the famine. And sold to cotton plantations and that as well. That's in one of my other videos. I'll leave it in the link at the end if you want to watch.
After a very long, despite the victory gained during the independence movement, Ireland has not found much peace, as the northern part of the country still remains under the people of Ireland still to this day. Ireland's history is long, dark, complicated, but the spirit of the people and echoes of the past can still be seen in Ireland today. Now, from my research and my explorations into ancient history, the history of Ireland is not too drastically different as far as timelines. You know, we had the hunter-gatherer period, we had the Neolithic period, we had the early farmer period, we had the monument builders, and then we had the Bronze Age, the warring cultures, and then civilization. This is pretty common story, sadly, across most of Europe. However, what makes Ireland so unique is the fact that the ancient history of the monument builders was, and the burial passage grave builders as well, was incorporated into the mythos of the Tuatha Dé Danann. Their mythology was incorporated into the ancient history of this land, and that's not really something we see as directly in the mythologies such as the Norse.
The folklore and mythology is so, you don't need to dig for it here. It's here that driving down the road, you'll see a field, and then and then all of a sudden a fairy home. The people just believe and understand that there are things more important than needing every single square footage for crops.
Driving through Ireland it's a lot of farms. So the people here would have been very, very focused on the agriculture. Because I mean, it just seems like it's really good growing land. There's lots of big, giant swaths of land. Obviously, had trees on it at some point, and the people would have been very tied to that agricultural lifestyle.
It's called the Emerald Isle for a reason.
Yeah, it is very green and gray. Yeah, it should have been called the Grey Isle.
Yeah, whole sense of Irish hospitality. Is a thing, absolutely, and it's an ancient thing. It was one of the old Brehon laws was hospitality. That it used to be. If a stranger was traveling and happened to stop by your home, you put them up for the night. As society evolved, they realized that wasn't quite going to work for everybody. So they created a position that was an official, like, hostel keeper. You are commissioned by the king to be a place for travelers to stop in and everything like that. And one of the rules was you had to always have 3 different meats available for consumption.
I feel like you're making this up.
I'm not making it up. My 3 animals a day is.
I love how you have to specify animals.
Yeah.
Not meat. Animals.
Yeah, 3 different animals a day. Don't always do it, but always a good day when I do. Then I discovered the Brewy voiceover for proper pronunciation.
On our first day, we had driven for nearly 2 hours to reach this area of Ireland that was famous for its role in the story of the Táin, a story of conflict between the people of Connacht and the people of Ulster. The story contains many mythological heroes and gods, but what we can still see today with our own eyes is the remains of many hill forts dotted across the countryside. These hill forts look nothing more than hills today. However, they still do bear the memory of conflict that once took place over the beautiful green hills of this Irish soil. So what are you expecting for Ali Nagat, or whatever this is, Nagat?
If you're watching this video and you don't see me afterwards, it's because I was drawn deeper and deeper into the cave, and I went to the other world.
This is a deep cave, it looks like, and it's very narrow. Last night, he actually made me like, if you see me go deeper, stop.
Yes.
You get what, 3 feet in? Like 3 steps?
Yeah, and then there's the Ogham.
Well, there's the Ohm, but then you said you only wanted to take like 3
steps. Yeah, maybe let's go to like 2 meters in.
2 meters. Okay, now it's 2 meters.
Yeah. By the time we get there, it'll be 5 meters. Yeah. But yeah, there's just something absolutely incredible about these sites that just draws you in.
In case I haven't said it in this video so far, translates to the Cave of the Cats, associated with Morrigan. And the legend around it is the original Samhain festival. So the Celtic version of Halloween, as it is known, descending into hell. Wow. As we explore Owing the Gat, here is a bit of the folklore behind the aptly applied names of the gates of hell. The Irish hero Nera saw a vision that led him to a cave where he was captured by the fairies and lived inside for some time. While captured, he took him to Samhain festival. Hearing this, Nera escaped the other world and warned his queen to the coming conflict. After the queen secured her victory because of Nera's warnings, he decided to move back into the cave to stay with his fairy wife. The cave has also many legends and folk tales tied to it, including it being the home of the Morrigan, the fierce war goddess of Irish mythology. And due to his associations with the story of Nera and the Samhain festival, it is often called the birthplace of Halloween. There's also an Ogham inscription in the cave that mentions the name of the very queen in the story surrounding this amazing historical landmark. As you can see, it's Halloween. Pretty tight, but we are in it right now. The gate to hell in Ireland. Oh, there's that. That's nice. There we go. So here we have. See if you can shine a light down that way.
Oh, down here?
Oh my gosh. Ooh, it goes down.
Does it go anywhere that way?
No,
just right there.
Yeah, just right there. And this will be the last recorded footage of Kevin the world will ever see.
You going on that way at all?
I'm good. I'm in the entrance. I have a fear of being underground.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and so this is already a lot for me. I'm good. All right. Yeah. So what do you feel?
Like you, I'm not a big cave person. I'm not really claustrophobic on land, but like underground, I get that way.
Yeah.
But there is part of me that just wants to go into it.
Yeah, it looks like it goes back pretty far. As far as like the map thing like that, it goes back pretty far. But you can definitely now though to the underworld. Yeah. It just keeps going down.
Yeah.
Just a hole in the ground. But it's the fact that it's tied to the Morrigan. It's tied to cats. It's got Ogham inscriptions in here. It's got this great legend.
Yeah, it's tied to cave.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I was saying. Like so much of the landscape and the places are connected to these stories.
I mean, that's one of the inscriptions on the Ogham here is of Maeve.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
so it's instantly connectable to the history and the mythology. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah. So something we're doing here as well is because, with the content here and us both being pagan is reaching out to the other side, not just appreciating history, but becoming a part of it as well. And so we
all the way in. I'd go all the way in and see what's like. I'm going with the camera. Spirit talker there. Actually, that'd be a cool video, wouldn't it? If we went, drove there and then spare talker and shit. See, and test LS cameras and other shit. Filming. That's that one. That's that for now. Yeah, if you like this content, just hit the subscribe, hit the like. Until next video, guys. Peace. Have a good day.